I'm speaking to persuade my audience that the new targeting rule in the NFL and NCAA has a negative effect on the game of football. The targeting rule is when a defensive player attempts to tackle on an offensive player, and he is either leading with his head or aiming at the other player's head. And football is a game that is known for its hard hitting and can be a dangerous game. With this new targeting rule, it takes away from those hard hits, and it could even cost a team to win a game. A great example of this year was when Vanderbilt was playing Georgia. Ramik Wilson, who was a linebacker for the Georgia Bulldogs, was charged for illegally hitting a Vanderbilt wide receiver, and it resulted in a 15-yard penalty, and that penalty put Vanderbilt into field goal range. They then kicked the field goal and made it to win the game. So that goes to show that these penalties can cost a team to win a game. And that game caused Georgia to be knocked out of the title chase and ultimately almost destroy their entire season. And that is why I believe that this new targeting rule is just wrong for football and has too many negative effects on the game. And the three reasons why I think that this penalty is wrong are: it could cause a team to lose a game. Number two, it takes away from the hard hitting that most fans love to see. And number three, it causes a player to aim lower when they tackle. And I'm going to talk about the first reason, which I've already kind of touched on earlier. It causes a team to lose a game. And this happened to a couple different teams this past season. And they were penalized and players were ejected. This player could be a key part to a defense because of one play. And they could be on the sideline for the remainder of the game. This happened on in a big game this past year when Ohio State was playing Iowa. And Bradley Roby, who was an All-American corner for Ohio State, was ejected for targeting. And this just goes to show that the penalty could ultimately decide the fate of a game, because a key player was kicked out of the game because of a call that is very debatable. It's hard to actually determine whether it was illegal or not. So that leads me into my second reason, which it takes away from the hard hitting that all the fans love to see. Because of this new targeting rule, it causes the defensive players to not hit as hard, and that just takes away from the big hits, And these players aren't not hitting just because they're scared. They are not hitting so hard because they don't want to be penalized and kicked out of the game. So they have to figure out a new way how to counter this rule, and that leads me into my third reason, which is the players are starting to aim lower because they don't want to be penalized for tackling high. And when a player aims lower, it gives a better chance for the offensive player to be hurt in the knee or the ankle. And this happened to several players this past year, and a great example of it was when tight end of the Miami Dolphins, Dustin Keller, suffered a season, possibly career-ending injury when a player was tackling him low after he caught a pass. And the player was interviewed after the game, and he said the reason that he hit low was because he didn't want to be penalized for targeting, so naturally he decided to tackle him low, and that's what hurt Dustin Keller. And the ESPN analyst Keyshawn Johnson said on ESPN that whenever he was playing, he would have much rather been protected in the legs than in the head, because he would not want to suffer an ACL tear rather than a concussion, because a concussion you can recover in 2 to 3 weeks, but an ACL tear, you are out for the season, and it could possibly end your entire career. So once again, those are my three main reasons, but I have several others, and those three were I disagree because the fans, want to see big hits. I don't want to see a team lose a game because of a penalty, and I don't want to see a player go down and lose his entire career because someone aimed low on him. And I just think that the negatives just outweigh the positives in this situation. And if they take this penalty away and let the players go back to just playing the way they were, I think fans would really be happy with that, and I think they would enjoy the games even better. So thank you very much.